What's going on, folks? My name is Scotty, and I wanted to make a review of my Exway X1 Max with HUD motors. I'm gonna try and keep this quick, so no bullshit around. What do I like? What don't I like? There's a lot that I like. Let me just say, overall, great board. Very few complaints. What are my favorite parts of it? One is the build quality. This thing is just, you're paying for a premium board and you're getting a premium board. Everything about it, the deck, the motors, everything to do with the trucks is just well made. As you can see, I put strut lights on it. They don't come with the board. I highly recommend, but that's an additional like 50, 100 bucks. So if you ride at night, I would get them, but that's up to you. Back to the board. What else do I like? So let's talk range, let's talk power. First with range, I'm never really pushing the range on this thing because when I'm using it, I'm a college student, I'm getting to and from and around my campus, which is usually about 3 to 6 miles in a day. So I always comfortably have quite a bit of percent left on the battery, so it works for me. Power. This thing fucking goes, let me tell you. If you put this in 4th gear, put on turbo mode, you're gonna get speed wobbles, and it's gonna be a good time. What else? What's the bad part of this board? The bad one was how long it took to get to me. I bought it when the X1 Maxes first came out, got it on pre-order, so I had to wait like a month for it to actually be off pre-order, so that would no longer apply. But then the shipping process, because I think the boards got stuck in customs because COVID supply chain, whatever, it took like 2 more months to get to me. So it was a 3-month process after I pressed buy for it to be at my door. Once it got through customs though, once I got a notification that it had actually arrived in the United States, it got here in like 3 days. They put priority shipping, so everything that Exway could do, they did. So Exway, if you're looking into it, like when they first, pre-COVID, were becoming a company, people raved about them. During COVID, they had a couple, like their customer service had got some bad reviews. The Wave had some finicky parts, like the battery was bad, the trucks were breaking. But I would say now, Exway is really what you're looking for. At least me personally, if I were to get another one, I would probably get the Exway Wave, just because I now have so much faith in Exway. Funny story, very relevant, I think, to anybody buying these boards. I thought because the bottom is like this and the battery is encased, I thought the board was waterproof. It is not. And I took it out to go just through the rain, which is sketchy, but I was going slowly. It's not a good idea because if you're riding through a lot of water, the wheels as they spin shoot water up at your legs as you're riding. Think of it like as they're spinning, a lot the water flies up and just got all over me, so it was disgusting. That's no fault of the board, that's just how physics works. But I thought I broke one of the motors. I was freaking out because I only owned the board for like 3 months at the time. And I was like, shit. And I also had heard those like bad reviews about Exway, so I was like, oh god, am I gonna have to ship it to Exway? Is it gonna take 3 months to get back to me? But good news, I sent them an email. Within that day, 2 hours later, I got a reply with a comprehensive thing where I described what happened. I said I took it out and it got wet. What should I do? And they told me exactly how to take apart the truck and try and figure out if the problem was with the motor, with the connection between the motor and the board, or with the ESC, the brain inside the board. And as I was doing that, I disconnected the truck, was doing it, and the problem, I was like, wait, what happened? And it went away. So I got lucky because the problem was just that a little bit of water and dust and whatever got into the connection points between the wheel with the motor and the actual board itself. So it that was what was causing the issue and one of the motors to stop working. So once I cleaned it out, the board works perfectly again. Okay, other random points that I would like to talk about. Should you get the hub or get the belt driven? Personally, I would recommend the hub. The little bit of extra torque or whatever you get from the belt, I'm rarely doing full acceleration or full power, because if you are, that's kind of a death trap. I use this to commute. I am a student, I have a laptop in my bag, I don't always have a helmet. So I'm not trying, especially if I'm not wearing a helmet, to just send myself into an intersection at 30 miles per hour and die, because that's not fun. So the hub motors, they're quiet, they're simple. Riding on them, it's super responsive. You can get whatever you prefer, but the lower maintenance of the hubs is really what sells it for me. And I like that it's quieter. I'm not trying to be obnoxious on my board riding around. What else? So as I said, battery life is great, build quality is great, power is great, range is great. I know some people might need to go farther on this, but you can get the quick charger, which is extra, unfortunately, but then it charges the whole thing in about an hour and a half, which means you can stop, get some work done, and continue on your way. If you're buying one of these boards, you have to look at your life, look at what you will be using the board for, and then make your decision based off that. I'm gonna make some other videos of me actually riding this thing around, giving it some test rides, how it feels, but overall, Exway did well. I have very few complaints. The only true problem with the board was the one I got. I don't know if you can see, but the trackpad here, it's got a little bit of, when they applied it, it folded over on itself. So it's not perfect, but at this point, it's so dirty that like, you don't really notice. It annoyed me at first, but I really don't care. And if I want, I could buy off the website a new trackpad for $18. So that's not even a complaint. Last thing I want to talk about is the remote. This thing is awesome. It's super sleek, super durable. It's not water resistant, but the build quality is so good that if little splashes get on it, you'll be fine. It's really simple. So if you haven't had an Exway board, they all use the same remote. It's literally just the screen, the on button, braking and accelerating with the wheel, the strap, and then charging port on the bottom. You don't need anything else. The board, they keep it simple because they're selling a great product, so they don't need to put bells and whistles on it. The only thing I've added to it was the shed lights, which I will make a separate video about those because they are awesome. But I'm Scotty. If you have any questions, feel free to ask in the comments, and have a good one.